Yeah! Woo! Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on this Wednesday. A lot going on. A whole lot going on with the Padres, oddly. A tremendous amount going on in the NFL. And it's not all Taylor Swift related. Hey!
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a hoax.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, there's been some updates there in that space, and we'll get to those in a little bit. But yeah, it's weird how the Swifties have completely dominated NFL headlines. Travis Kelce's jersey sales have spiked insanely.
400%.
The most watched football game of the Week 3 slate was the Chiefs-Bears game.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
And Rich, Travis, I'm nauseated by it, just like I predicted I would be on Tuesday.
And you did say that, yeah.
Guess which demographic they were number one in?
Huh. I'm going to guess girls ages 16 to 20.
You nailed it, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the NFL has a whole new slate of football fans.
I love how the NFL does things. I really do. It's a machine. It's a well-oiled machine. It is marketing 101. You want to grab a new demographic. You got to do something splashy just so they could get a taste. Just a little, give them a free sample, like as you're walking around with your shopping cart at Costco. And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I do need 5 pounds of chicken maple bacon. This is delicious.
Is that a thing?
I hope it is. The point I'm trying to make is, are we sure that's not a thing? We need to find out if that's a thing.
I'm looking it up.
Wait, chicken maple bacon. So is that chicken bacon but doused in maple syrup?
I made it.
Not down.
I was searching for words to slam together, and
Hashtag
How about
wood.
maple
Hashtag
glazed
wood.
bacon wrapped chicken breasts.
Okay, that
All right,
actually
I'm getting closer.
Save that recipe.
Okay.
Pin it to your Pinterest.
Cheesy maple bacon chicken.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't see that it's chicken bacon that's maple, but you would think that would exist, right?
It has.
I mean, there's turkey bacon. Is there chicken
There
bacon?
has to be chicken bacon. Come on. And if there's not, then we are in the wrong business, and we're about to be bajillionaires.
Yes, I knew it.
I told my mom I wasn't a failure. I told her.
Speaking of bajillionaires in the
Is it
NFL,
ferret?
like, can't you just see Roger Goodell on his little crystal ball in his evil man cave? Like, I imagine it's kind of like with the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. You know, that's Roger Goodell, and his big head is out floating in a room looking at a cowardly lion, a scarecrow, a tin man.
That head is a mask that he actually puts on. We're like, wow.
But can't you just see him doing the thing where it's like, okay, where have we been lacking for generations in NFL viewership? Young women. Okay, I know what we're going to do. Taylor Swift just sold out arenas all over the freaking country to young women and their dads and their moms. But young women mainly. We're going to get all of them into football.
The only problem is they've been asking her to do the Super Bowl halftime show for years, and she keeps saying no.
But they didn't flaunt out boy toy Travis Kelce in a six-pack.
Hang on. But think about that storyline. So Taylor Swift says no to the halftime show years and years and years in a row. And it's because the NFL is trying to tap into the Taylor Swift fans because it's such an enormous fan base. They're literally filling stadiums. She played Arrowhead. There wasn't a seat left in the house.
For multiple nights.
She played SoFi. There wasn't a seat in the house.
For multiple
6 nights. Like 7 nights.
So you think about it, they're like, oh my God. Like, she is selling out some of these stadiums that some of these teams can't even sell out. Right. We need to find a way to tap into this halftime show. Didn't work. All right, somebody call Travis Kelce.
And tell him to shave his beard down to just a mustache. Taylor likes that.
I'm picturing Roger Goodell putting together the friendship bracelet that he threw to her on stage. Like, he's just... and just cackling like an evil mad genius, like
wait,
she will be ours.
Do you think Travis Kelce was in on it? Or?
Yes, his jersey sales have spiked 400%. You know how much money he's made on that?
Well, I don't know if
Rich. I don't know how many NFL jerseys you sold with your name on the back.
Tons.
Okay, like what's the percentage of what is the percentage a player gets on it?
I forget the percentage,
Even
but
if
it's a
it's
nice
tiny,
check. Yeah,
even if it's tiny, like if it's a 10% deal, if it's a 5% deal. A 400,000 or 400% increase.
Yeah.
He's bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, dude, there's no question about it. And it's look, if he's not in on it, he's realizing right now, like this week, and he just did the podcast with his brother, and he talked about it. He didn't say anything. They talked about it a little bit. They had to address elephant in the room.
They talked about Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Odd.
here's the crazy thing about all this is the story is going to stick around the entire season because the Swifties have been activated. But you're not going to hear much from her. You're not going to hear much from Travis Kelce, but the NFL is going to capitalize because, oh boy, every time she's in the suite with Mama Kelce, you're going to see that red lipstick and you're going to see her jumping up and down going, let's effing go every Travis Kelce touchdown catch.
Rich, you played for one of the strictest drill sergeants in NFL history in Bill Belichick, and he was pretty serious about how you handle press conferences, how you handle your personal life.
Yeah.
What comes into the building needs to be football oriented, right? This would not fly on the New England Patriots. Having this big of a distraction.
Now,
let me land the plane.
Hang on. Giselle.
I understand that, but did Tom ever make a big deal about Giselle outside of just, oh yeah, it's my wife?
Right. The thing is, we don't know what Travis Kelce is doing in the building.
He made a big deal of it on his own in the offseason. Now this
True.
is translated into an in-season storyline, and he probably regrets it.
Well, here's the thing.
Travis Kelce regrets it?
He regrets making it as big of a deal as he did.
No way. No way.
I don't think there's any regret.
No
way. I think now don't get me wrong. I do think that he's probably overwhelmed to a certain extent of how big this is and how big this has gotten. He probably didn't realize the Pandora box he just opened, but I don't think he's looking at it as a negative. Andy Reid certainly may think this could become a distraction, and that conversation may have happened. He might say, hey, Travis, congratulations. Really cool. We are still playing football here. Just a quick reminder. So we're doing the same thing. You know, the wheel keeps spinning over here in KC. And he's probably like, you got it, coach. And that's about as far as that conversation really can go. But you have to address the fact that something major has shifted in one of your star players' life and make sure that he understands the gravity of the situation he's in. You got to keep the main thing. With Brady and Giselle, which was an enormous storyline, paparazzi, that was when Tom Brady's fame stepped up from just being a 3-time Super Bowl champ to now being a 3-time Super Bowl champ and dating a model who very short order became a billionaire. I mean, this is global fame, right? Just like Travis Kelce right now. And he ended up marrying her. They end up having kids together. And the storyline kind of fades after a little while. But I got there when it was still fresh, when Giselle was first pregnant with their first kid. And in 2009, I'll tell you this, it was like business as usual. He handled it professionally. The organization handled it professionally. If Travis Kelce does the same, a little bit more of a party boy atmosphere with Travis Kelce, but if he handles it the same way that Brady did, this will not be a distraction.
Yeah, I think the difference that maybe you're feeling here, Fletch, is the age range is much younger that love Taylor Swift than they did Giselle Bundchen. And they're in an age range that loves to use social media. And they love to get their opinion out there. And they go and they make Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift t-shirts, which, by the way, they had projected that there would be over $500 million in Kelce, Taylor Swift merchandise made and sold in the next week to the Swifties. I mean, it's incredible.
It's bigger than the Trump mugshot shirt.
Oh my gosh. Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. It's not even close.
Before we get to halftime here, I do want to get to this. We're going to debut a new segment here on Wednesdays called Big Rich, TD, and Fletch's Biggest. We're going to look back at week 3 in the NFL, look forward to week 4 in the NFL, and we're going to do it every Wednesday.
Like a can of Pringles hanging down there.
I was like, can of Pringles? Do we have Pringles?
When we say biggest, it's like combined.
Got it.
You know, yeah.
Got it.
Still under half a foot. Look, the point is, we'll get a really like schnazzy open for this and everything. But for right now, let's just go Big Rich's and TD's and Fletch's Biggest.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost screwed up the name of the show.
It happens.
Big Rich, LaDonna, and John Fink. Those are our Kogo News reporters.
John Fink is the biggest.
Oh, he's a giant.
It's huge.
Giant vegan.
Yeah.
Anyways, how about let's start here. Biggest takeaways from week 3 of the NFL season. Let's start with you, Fletch. Any takeaways you want to share?
My biggest takeaway honestly comes from one of those Monday night games, and it was the Bengals and the Rams, which ultimately was a pretty boring game, but it had to be for the Bengals, and they're going to be fine this season. I think Burrow needs to get healthy, but just like we were talking about them in the offseason, they're going to be fine this season. They will be a playoff team. They will be contending to try to go far for a Super Bowl. They're just too talented not to, and Joe Burrow is that dude.
I'm gonna say my biggest takeaway from week 3 was CJ Stroud is arguably the best young quarterback in this league right now. And we had 3 first-round talents taken in the top 5, Anthony Richardson in concussion protocol. Bryce Young just hasn't looked right since the jump, really since the preseason. That guy's been savaged by pass rush. CJ Stroud has stepped up in a major way for the Houston Texans, breaking rookie records already. And if you look at the other side of the game that was in Jacksonville, the Jaguars getting beat by the Texans, they're in a 1-2 hole now. Not a good start for a team that has a tremendous amount of promise in a winnable division, or at least we thought it was winnable in the AFC South.
That is the biggest non-storyline that we've had so far, is that game. That Texans-Jags game. The fact that the Texans beat them, was it by 20 points?
They beat the brakes off
They
them.
beat the Jags handedly.
37-17
Yeah,
in
20-point
Jacksonville.
That is a huge storyline, and it puts up massive question marks about a team that we all thought was going to do pretty dang well this year in the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So, yeah, my 2 takeaways on either side of that game that we saw in Jacksonville, it's just the production from CJ Stroud on a Houston Texans teams that really nobody had any expectations on, and the poor play from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, granted, they got beat by the Chiefs, so you say, well, you'll get beat by the Chiefs, but getting beat by the Houston Texans, you got to find a way to win that game at home. That was counted as a W in the preseason. So that's my biggest takeaways.
I'm going to go with where Travis Kelce lives here with the Chiefs. Now, week 1, there was some questions by myself of, is this the same Chiefs team that there was last year? Do they have some problems in the receiving core? They need to step up. They need to find somebody to help them out here. Week 2 still looked a little shaky. Week 3 looked like the Chiefs are going to be okay to me. Chiefs are going to be fine. They're going to be another Super Bowl contender. Another year, you're probably going to see them in the AFC Championship game. And on top of that, what you were just mentioning, Fletch, of, is this a problem for Travis Kelce? All the spotlight, all the limelight. I think this makes him better. I mean, I honestly think that the spotlight, when it goes to the Chiefs, when it goes to Travis Kelce, when it goes to Patrick Mahomes, these guys shine. And they stepped up in a big way.
You know, there are certain players, and I played with a lot of them, who they want all the smoke. They want all the attention. They want all the acclaim. They play better the bigger the moment is. They play better the more people are talking about them when the attention's on them. Travis Kelce, number 87 for the Chiefs, he's been that way his whole career. I agree with you. I think it's probably a big momentum starter for number 87 wearing the red out there in Kansas City.
All right, next up, biggest blunder from week 3. Rich, let's start with you on this one.
Biggest blunder. Now, I want to give it to the Chargers. I do. I really do. The 4th-and-1 decision to go for it on your own 24-yard line that led to a turnover on downs, that led to the Vikings have a chance while trailing by 4 to win the game, because you put them at your 24-yard line. That wasn't the biggest blunder because it still resulted in a win somehow for the Chargers. So I have to give it to Josh McDaniels of the Raiders, who inexplicably kicked a field goal when he was trailing by 8 against the Steelers with 2:13 left on the clock, instead of going for it on a 4th and 4 from the Steelers' 8-yard line. It was an absolutely egregious coaching error. You got to understand the situation. I said earlier that I actually thought that maybe he thought there were 6 points on the board from the Steelers and they weren't trailing by 8, because there's no other explanation. They needed to score a touchdown. You're at the Steelers' 8-yard line. Nobody's mad at you, including your own fan base or your owner, if you decide to go for it on a 4th and 4. You got all the way down there. You give the Steelers back the ball on their own 8-yard line if it screws up. So they lose the game. They drop to 1-2. And again, that's a winnable game on your home turf, and it would have been a huge win over an AFC combatant.
Yeah, that's where my head went too on the first thought of this. But you know where I am at right now? The Jets and Zach Wilson. How is Zach Wilson still the quarterback over there? These Jets fans are losing their minds 3 weeks in. This is a team that was supposed to go win the Super Bowl. You lose your quarterback. I get it. But you don't make any other adjustments. The quarterback at Zach Wilson, a quarterback, doesn't work. It doesn't work. The biggest blunder, I mean, look at the guy who just falls to the ground because He thinks he's getting sacked.
Mm.
I mean, there are big problems there. I know Joe Namath was live tweeting during the game. After the game, he was like, "Yeah, I've seen enough. I've seen enough." And I think that's the sentiment from all of Jets fans of what the hell are we doing? Get someone who can actually drive this car. They got to make a change here.
Well, Trevor Simeon is here to save the day.
Yeah,
That's going to be great.
It's a big signing.
And also, yesterday I saw the first rumors that the Jets might be looking to trade for a quarterback who's currently in the league, and Kirk Cousins was the name that popped up.
Well, if the Vikings continue to falter, I know that Minnesota fans wouldn't be completely torn apart over.
They're already 0-3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So 0-4, 0-5. When is it that Kirky's going to be available for trade?
My biggest blunder from week 3 was that Chargers-Vikings game. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, because both teams screwed up everything.
Fourth quarter, you could just focus at the fourth quarter within 2 minutes. It was dog bleep football.
We got the blunder. Fletch, what's the biggest win of week 3?
The biggest win is the same as my biggest takeaway. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. They needed to win. They got the win, and they come out of it with a healthy Joe Burrow from that game. So that is the biggest win of the week, because if they fall to 1-2 or to 0-3, they're having serious problems. 1-2, much more manageable the rest of the way.
Yeah. I think I agree with you there. I'm trying to think.
You could put the Chargers in the same boat, but with the Chargers win came a loss in Mike Williams.
How about this? The Bills beating the absolute snot out of the Commanders is huge. So they improved to 2-1 in the season, and they needed a big win this season. They needed a confidence builder. They're heading into a matchup against the Dolphins this upcoming week. So I think for the Bills, for momentum's sake, to feel like they are a power in the NFL, which they really should be. They're getting Stephon Diggs involved. Like, that Bills offense needed a big win, and I think that's one of the biggest wins from this week 3. Just looking ahead to who it could have been a trap game too. Early season trap games, it's always hard to decide, but Commanders, good defense, could have slowed them down, didn't. Huge win for the Bills.
You know what I like is Colts over the Ravens. The Colts fought through that thing, man. The Ravens, to me, should have won this game handily. The Colts hung in there and stuck this thing out to overtime, get the win. I don't know if it changes their season right now, but maybe it does in the fact that they just don't implode.
I see a bunch of guys playing with their technique and fundamentals.
It's halftime. All right, TD, what do you got for us?
Well, gather around, everyone, because the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift story, it's going to live on. Yeah. And now Heinz is jumping on board. Yeah, Heinz ketchup. Apparently up in the press box, Swiftie spotted Taylor Swift eating chicken nuggets with ketchup and what they believed was ranch dressing, mixing it up. So Heinz saw a tweet of some Swiftie that wrote, "It looks like ketchup and seemingly ranch dressing. So guess what, everyone? You're going to be able to buy a bottle."
Canch.
I don't know what they're calling it. No, actually, I do know what they're calling it.
Ketchup?
Nope.
What is it? What is it?
It's ketchup and seemingly ranch. That's the bottle. That is the name of the bottle. Now, listen, there's only going to be 100 of them made because
Screw this. I'm so sick of it.
Travis Kelce's number 87. Taylor Swift is number 13. You add those up, that's 100. So you got to go to their Instagram page and try to buy one of these bottles. I don't know how much they're going to be. Maybe $13. Maybe that makes sense. But come on. Hold on, though. Are you in or are you out on ketchup and ranch dressing?
They already had a Canch that they released a while ago.
They did.
I'm pretty sure you could buy it in stores.
Well, this is the Taylor Swift version, so it's going to be a little bit better. But speaking of a story that just won't die.
Yeah. I mean, so Juan Soto has a 2-homer night. Those were his 34th and 35th of the season. He set a new career high there, and he's now tied for the third most all-time multi-homer games before turning 25. Okay, so he's had 17 multi-homer games this season. Soto has quietly, because it's been such a bad season for the Padres, has had a monster year. He still has another year of arbitration, which means more team control from the Padres. He's one of to speculate, to be one of the biggest catches in the trade market coming up this offseason for the Padres, and still has an insane potential. There are some who believe that there's no way you could get what you traded him for in the first place to get him to San Diego because he has one less year of control. However, when you start to do the math, sometimes teams get pretty desperate, and maybe you could get back most of it. What's insane about all this is the Padres are still alive. They haven't been eliminated yet. They're 4.5 games back, but they're still alive.
So Fangraphs does have a 0.0% next to their name.
Yes,
it's gone down from 0.1.
Oh, wow. It went down?
0.0.
Okay.
So they are done because there would have to literally be like 50 different things to happen before the postseason for the Padres to make the postseason.
Wait, but why 50 different things? I mean, couldn't it just be,
there's
you got, what, 4 teams?
There's multiple teams that have to lose every game. So every one of those scenarios, if everyone has 4 or 5 games left, is one. And the Padres have to win every game, which those are another 4 games. They're not going to make the postseason.
Yeah.
But can I make you guys want to puke real quick?
Okay, this was before the show, just to spill the tea a little bit. Ben goes, do you guys want to hear a statistic that's going to make you puke about the Padres, or do you want to wait until 6:22 this morning? I said, no, we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll save it.
And now we get to hear it for the first time.
So if you're eating your Honey Nut Cheerios or your, I don't know, what do basic people do now? Oh, they eat like half a grapefruit for breakfast, maybe with a little bit of sugar on
That's
top.
pretty good. I like that.
Here you go.
Problem with that.
The Padres record is 78-80, correct? Correct. That is a win percentage of .494. They have a run differential of plus 94, which is actually higher of every team ahead of them except for the Cubs in the wild card race, who have a plus 100 run differential. If you do all the math and you add up all the numbers, all the stats the Padres have put up this year, their expected win-loss record. Any guesses?
99.
I'm going to say 87.
89 and 69.
Okay.
Their expected win-loss record is 20 games over 500.
Yeah. Okay.
And Rich, when we were talking before the show, I told you, like, if you look at all this team's, all their numbers and everything, you would expect a 10 game over 500 team.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's a 20 game over 500 team, which would be good enough to put you all the way in the first wild card spot above the Philadelphia Phillies. It would put you it would put you 1 game ahead of. No, okay, sorry. It would put you 7 games behind the Dodgers. 7 games behind the Dodgers.
How infuriating.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And remember at the beginning of the season, the earlier part of the season, as things were rolling along, we were all talking about mathematics.
Yeah.
And like, it's not mathematically possible to keep this percentage up. It's just not going to happen. I mean, math says so.
Yeah.
They have proved us wrong.
It happened.
It happened. And somehow, with 5 games left, the season's not over.
Yeah.
4 games left.
4 games. That's what I said. 4 games left. 4.5 games back. Good Lord.
I want to throw up. All right, let's move on to a more interesting storyline here. Oh, by the way, we have Guns N' Roses tickets coming up today. Coldplay tickets coming up today.
Last chance for Coldplay.
$30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza. That's coming up later today. And also, he's going to go from touchdowns to triple X. You're going to want to stick around for this.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks. Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Princess Cruises, the original love boat, is making another run to amazing destinations around the world. Aboard Princess, you'll love our world-class dining, spectacular production shows, curated excursions, and so much more. Book early and save up to 50%. Call 1-800-PRINCESS, visit princess.com, or contact your travel advisor today. Offer ends 10/31/23. Terms and conditions apply. Ships a Bermudan and British registry.
Which NFL receiver is ready to give us a show on and off the field? Coming up next.
Coronado Bridge traffic very heavy, full span from the 5 all the way across. The 5 is backed up in both directions, also dealing with some thick fog through that stretch. South on 15, slow in Temecula, Gopher Canyon to Deer Springs and at Villa Rancho. I'm Tori Peck, San Diego traffic.
Do you know how to get tax-free growth on your investments for life? Find out if a Roth conversion could save you thousands of dollars in taxes. Schedule a free financial assessment with Pure Financial Advisors. Call 888-994-6257 or visit purefinancial.com.
San Diego sports now.
This update is presented by the County of San Diego HHSA. Padres still alive? Well, kind of. They win last night 4-0 over the Giants. The teams they needed to lose also lost. They put their playoff lives on the line once again tonight in a must-win scenario against the Giants, although Fangraphs does give them a 0.0 chance to make the postseason. In the world of golf, the 2023 Ryder Cup gets going tomorrow from Macro Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy. In college football, Aztecs head to Colorado Springs to take on the Air Force this Saturday. We got live pregame coverage from AleSmith Brewing beginning at 3 o'clock on Saturday. The game will kick off at 5 on San Diego Sports 760. If you want to head over to AleSmith, we're welcoming everybody for a little watch party for the Aztecs. If you're looking for a full preview of the game, tune in to San Diego Sports 760 and the free iHeartRadio app tonight to hear the Brady Hoke Coaches Show. Some injury news in the NFL. Giants running back Saquon Barkley considered day-to-day with his ankle injury. The Packers are optimistic that they will get running back Aaron Jones back by their Thursday night matchup with the Lions. And Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams officially will miss the rest of the season with the torn ACL. It's flu season, which means it's time to get your flu vaccine. The flu vaccine is the best way to protect yourself and make sure you don't miss out on fun with you and your loved ones. Visit San DiegoCounty.gov/flu to find a location near you and schedule an appointment to stay safe against the flu.
Big Rashidi and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app downloaded to your phone. We can take us with you. You're getting ready for work. Listen to Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, maybe on your smart speaker with the free iHeartRadio app.
Travis, can you give us an example of how you ask your smart speaker?
Yeah, I go, hey, Google, play San Diego Sports 760, and boom, it's there.
Boom,
it happens.
Rich, how about you?
I would say to my Alexa device, I'd say, hey, Alexa, play San Diego Sports 760. I'm sorry we do this every morning. We're just pissing people off. But I picture at least one household in San Diego or anywhere in the country going, could you please stop doing this? I'm already listening to your show.
If it works one time, it'll make me happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I want it to be playing on multiple devices in your house.
That's right. KFC apparently...
I love where your brain goes. Okay,
KFC wrote on X, they put a picture of Taylor Swift and then called her their ranch queen. And Hidden Valley Ranch has changed their X name to Seemingly Ranch.
Seemingly Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a storyline, by the way. The Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce pairing that is not going to die. This is going to live on for the rest of the NFL season. And then just like how NFL teams go into an offseason, Taylor Swift too we'll start to go into off seasons. Like we'll have the seasons of Swift. And
I hate it.
Well, get used to it.
You know
because
what?
it's going nowhere.
A week ago, you didn't hate it.
You're right. I didn't. Now I do.
Well, that's his love.
Let me ask you if you hate this. I think as an idea. All right. So just spin your wheels with me. When you retire, what are your plans? I know Ben always says I'm going to get a compound in Mexico. You'll never hear from me again. Travis, I don't think we've ever talked about it. Are you ever going to retire? Will you work until your bloody hands are just buried under dirt? And even still, you'd be like, just make sure you change your oil.
Probably that. I don't know. I will probably die at 45. What do I got? Like 8 months left.
You're 44.
Yeah, no. 44. I'm just saying, but with my luck, I'll probably die right as I figure out how I'm going to retire.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe some place in Southern Colorado, maybe Telluride.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I'll have a few $1 million tucked away. I can just spend it on a house, get some property.
So you got your first AARP letter and you decide, probably going to die soon.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Yeah. I sent that to you guys. Was it day before yesterday?
Yeah.
You've already made the decision. You're like, yeah, it's time to start slowing down.
This is what's sad is I get the AARP letter and it says, happy birthday. And I thought, you guys don't even know when my birthday is.
Quite late.
I opened it up. I see how much the membership is. And I thought, oh, that's pretty reasonable.
Ben, I'd like you to click the link that I put in the rundown because there's a certain wide receiver from a certain team that's having a certainly good year. The Miami Dolphins wideout, Tyreek Hill, who is live streaming on Twitch with Bucs receiver Mike Evans. So all of this is just bizarre. He's on Twitch. He's being interviewed by another wide receiver in the league, but whatever. Okay, so they're having a chat. I believe it was on Tyreek's podcast, not 100% sure, but Evans out of curiosity, because Tyreek Hill may be on his last deal, maybe his second to last contract, said to Tyreek Hill, hey, what do you think you're going to be doing when you're done with football? This was Tyreek's answer. Okay. It will be ready in a moment. Yeah. He
If
said,
that was a little too low for you, he said, I want to be a porn star when I retire.
Like dead serious.
yeah.
I mean, I believe him.
Listen, I don't put anything past wide receivers anymore. After seeing what's happened with Antonio Brown retiring from football, really not even retiring, he's still out there and probably would say yes if offered a contract. But anything's possible.
By the way, text line, YouTube chat, everywhere you can talk to us on the talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. I would like to know, what is Tyreek Hill's porn name?
Great question.
Ooh.
Cheetah, because he finishes super fast.
Well, Cheetah's already
the same way. Let's go the same place.
Yeah, he needs a new nickname for porn.
But I mean, imagine that was his thing. Like he was just like, check out how short this clip is. And it's just like Vines. They're only 8 seconds long. He's like, and we're done. All right. See you next time, gang. Right. His OnlyFans has 10 million views, but he only actually has 2 minutes of content. Holy smokes. All right. The Miami Dolphins, though, interesting segue here. The Miami Dolphins, is it possible to stop that offense?
It's going to take a really fast defense.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it at the moment. No one has come up with a scheme to do so.
Week 4?
That's going to be fun.
So here, tell me about this, Rich. When Belichick would get ready for like a super high-powered offense, which when you guys were going, when like the Brady Patriots were really rolling, who was the high-powered offense in the league? Colts with a superpower with Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
but that wasn't a necessarily like super high-speed offense.
Oh, okay. Let me think back to those years. Well,
but it works the same way. So Colts were the high-powered offense of the NFL.
I'll tell you, because I'll tell you what, they still had guys who you knew they were going to go to on third down. Like they had Dallas Clark. I remember like he was there, Peyton Manning and that connection. They had Marvin Harrison. They had Reggie Wayne. Like there were guys you had to shut down.
So when Belichick would be game planning for that, wouldn't you rather have it a little later in the season so you get as much film as possible so you know everything that they're doing?
Of course.
Because what the Dolphins have done so far through 3 games, while yes, impressive, I feel like they've showed a lot. And they've showed exactly what their offensive scheme is going to be. So the further this season goes along, the easier it's going to be to defend them because you know everything that's going to be coming. So no, I don't imagine it's going to be this high powered the entire season through. That being said, playmakers make plays, and they got them all over the field, and they have so much speed between Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert. What's the rookie's name? A-Chain?
A-Chain. Devon A-Chain.
Devon A-Chain. Like, all these dudes are 4.3 and under. Like, they are so fast.
Well, you got to be able to get to Tua. You got to get some pressure on him and make him move. Tua has not had to do anything with his legs. You know how many rush yards he had in that game versus Denver? 0. Yeah, 0 yards. He was 0 threat to move anywhere.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're giving him all day long to look and find somebody, I mean, even at the moment, if a team comes up with something to stop these deep balls or to stop the long plays, at least, I mean, they're going to get you underneath. The Miami Dolphins right now feel like they have the offense to where even if their defense is giving up a lot of points, the Dolphins can mash the gas pedal down and get more points on the board.
Here's actually to answer your question. I think it's smart that you brought up the Patriots because the Patriots have already played against the Dolphins this season. They slowed them down. Do you know the reason why? And this is exactly, I promise you, it's exactly what Sean McDermott, who's a defensive-minded coach before he took the head coaching job with the Bills. He was defensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers. Smart guy. He's going to use his pass rush, certainly, but he's going to put extra defensive backs on the field, and he's going to shut down Tyreek Hill. It's the only way you can beat the Dolphins is slowing down that man. He's a bad man with the football in his hand. So you put an extra DB out there. You play with sometimes 8 defensive backs and maybe 3 defensive linemen, maybe 1 linebacker on the field. You really change up your personnel to match their speed. You're going to give up a lot in the run game, and the Patriots did. Mostert ran for 121 yards, and he averaged 6.7 yards per carry, scored 2 rushing touchdowns, but they held the Dolphins to 24, which is about as low as you could hope for. They held Tyreek Hill to 40 yards.
And if you can hold them to 24 points, the Bills can put up 28.
They
have that
goal. Right. Yeah, it's a race to 28.
Tua Tagovailoa, by the way, right now, plus plus 350 odds in Vegas to win the MVP, which would give him an implied chance of 22.22%. So Tua Tagovailoa early season is the front runner.
It's he's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy.
And that's the nexus of the whole universe for the Dolphins.
Right. But I mean, if that line continues to work and they don't get hands on him, it's going to be a good year.
Or if, like what Rich said, if it's the defensive treatment like the teams have been doing to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, where it's those deep zones where they have one in front of Tyreek Hill, one behind Tyreek Hill, like maybe Tua's just not getting pressured.
You can zone them, you can run man, but you can't stay stagnant. You got to mix it up. Coverages, you have to try to confuse Tua. If there's one thing Tua has, is he the most athletic? No. Is he the biggest? No. I mean, can he be exposed? Yes, but he has so many weapons and he's so smart. He knows where to go with the football and he doesn't make a ton of mistakes. So you have to double up Tyreek. You have to double up Tyreek. And by the way, Waddle is still questionable. He was out last week. When the Patriots played against the Miami Dolphins, they had Waddle on the field. They held him to 80 yards receiving. So it was a good day against the passing effort from the Miami Dolphins. If I'm the Bills preparing for this next week against Miami Dolphins, I'm tearing that page right out and I'm saying, here is our game plan.
Crazy. Go full circle there. Tua definitely not wanting to be exposed. Tyreek Hill, it's all about it.
He just wants that exposure. Really does.
Exactly correct.
Full on exposure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of exposure.
Yeah. He's doing what at halftime? Whoa. This is an NFL storyline that's going to have a couple of eyebrows raised. That's next.
Bert Kreischer presents Tops Off World Tour.
I look at my dad, I go, hey dad, maybe we should sit down. I don't think your owl's out tonight. 30 seconds later, whoo, right on top of it we hear, whoo. My oldest daughter goes, Dad, look across the lake at the old man on his dock. There's another drunk, blind old white man just, whoo.
Bert Kreischer live on stage. Pechanga Arena, San Diego, October 1st. Get tickets at AXS.com.
Listen to San Diego Sports 760 on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
All right, coming up next, Usher's halftime show is going to have a peep show attached. We'll explain.
South 5 Imperial Avenue, right lane blocked, 2-car injury crash. Coronado Bridge traffic heavy all the way across to North Island. North 5 backed up behind it from L.
So the NFL Super Bowl halftime act has been announced. It's Usher. He's going to be playing the Las Vegas stage, something that he's familiar with because Usher has a residency at a Las Vegas casino resort. And this all makes perfect sense, right? You know, you're usually trying to attract that demographic that's somewhere between 30 and 55, usually more male oriented, but you want something that's going to attract females as well. Like the NFL is very scripted in terms of who exactly they want. There were some rumors about AC/DC. I mean, personally, I was excited about that, but I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in hell because AC/DC is heavily skewed towards the male demographic. So Usher feels like, you know, a Taylor Swift, maybe that's skewing a little younger than the NFL typically wants, but she's such a enormous superstar. They would be fine with it.
Crossover artist.
Exactly. Yeah. Jay-Z, Beyonce, you know, name them, Eminem, 50 Cent. We've seen all these names come up and be considered or actually be a part of halftime acts in the past. Snoop Dogg, you get it. The Usher act, though, is going to bring something new to halftime. And Usher has officially requested pole dancers be a part of the halftime act. So,
I mean, I guess I'm back in on the halftime show.
Yeah. Yesterday, Travis was like, this is going to be lame. All of a sudden, we start sharing this article last night, and Travis was like, you know what, maybe this will be okay.
Is it that different from what Shakira and J-Lo did?
You make a strong argument.
I guess not.
2 years ago, when J-Lo and Shakira were on stage, I had the halftime show muted so we could talk about the game. And it was me and one of Anne's best friends growing up, her father, sitting next to me on the couch, and my boys. And the four of us were staring at the screen. It was on mute, by the way. It was the most entertained I had ever been by a halftime act since Prince took the stage in South Florida and played Purple Rain in the rain.
Is it really that different from Shakira and J-Lo? Like later that year, J-Lo had a movie come out where she played a stripper or like the leader of a strip club, and she was on stage doing everything that strippers do.
Yeah,
And so having poles
good
on the
day.
stage just makes it more official.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a great look for the NFL.
I would go as far to say as the NFL is not going to allow this.
Well, I mean, you would think. However, he did say, Usher, by the way, said that they will be properly clothed and it will be very tasteful.
And you still don't understand why he's so mean to Kim Kardashian.
No, I don't. Listen, I've talked to several people now who didn't understand the promo either. So
Your
I'm
wife?
not. Yes.
And just her.
Yeah, she was like, "This is dumb," and I'm like, "Thank you very much." I was made fun of because I had no idea what the hell was going on or why this was so poorly edited.
It was clever. It was.
But like, I have to have seen the Confessions video to understand why Usher. Wait, hold on. In the Confessions video, who's he being mean to?
Well,
to the baby mama, his side chick.
exactly.
So she's calling him to let him know that she's pregnant and he's in a relationship with someone else. And so he said, put that on everything.
Let me ask this question.
That's what the song is?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Then
these are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I could say, I came up with more reasons to shoot you away.
I've heard this song. I don't know the song.
Who's gonna play in the Super Bowl? Like if we were going to
Cisco.
No.
I was looking for the thong song on the halftime show.
That would be a collab I'd be interested in. Cisco and Usher. No, I mean, like if we were going to stop the season right now and we were going to try to guess and project forward, because everybody has their Super Bowl picks. Has yours changed at all based on what you've seen so far?
I don't remember who my AFC team was. But the Niners haven't changed.
I would say yes. Mine has.
I think mine's changed to Niners Dolphins.
You say Niners Dolphins? Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see that. I wouldn't disagree with that too much. The Dolphins have what's changed for me for the AFC actually, unless some things change here. I do feel like they will start to slow down on the offense, and I think the Chiefs will continue to get better. What you laughing at there, Fletch?
The fact that the Usher Confessions Part 2 music video has, I don't know, 205 million views.
Wait, there's two parts to Confessions?
Yeah, Confessions
you
Part
told me
1
that.
and Part 2.
Yeah.
This is very...
Part 2 is the one they took the video from.
Yeah.
Well, guess of those 205 million, I was not one of them.
No, you were not. I said Chiefs Eagles to start the season, and I'll tell you what, I think with the Eagles and both Eagles and the Chiefs,
that's still a viable option.
This season started out a little bit slow for both of them, but I think they're getting their footing now. And speaking of feet, the Good Feet store has you covered with arch supports. You got to get in there. I put these arch supports in my shoes. I walk around. I use these things daily. And my back, as a result, after 6 years in the NFL, has felt so much better. I had back surgery. That's how my NFL career finished up. And for years, I've been struggling with back pain. So if you're dealing with any sort of lower body joint pain, your back's bugging you, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your feet, before you consider orthopedic options like surgery and all that stuff and going down that route, trust me, it's worth a stop over at the Good Feet store. Go to goodfeet.com. You can book your appointment there. You can find any of their stores. They're all available online as well. 200 plus locations around the U.S. and overseas, 30 plus years of experience. Good Feet store is helping people live the lives they want to live. Okay, coming up next, a former starting quarterback taking shots at the current starting quarterback. Interesting. Also, Ted Wynn from The Athletic is going to break down some great NFL offensive football. All that coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. hospital bed at Bethesda Memorial. He he had a lot to say about his New York team and what's happened since he's left. Here's Aaron. Yeah.
Did he
I mean-
say I'm no one pointing fingers at each other, but he's pointing fingers?
Well, he's dad who's laid up at the hospital, and he's trying to wrangle his kids in a little bit who are now fighting out there on the field. I mean, that's what that felt like to me. Of like, you kids need to knock it off. Listen, I'm just trying to get well over here, and you're making it harder on me.
I said, get off the GD shed.
It's exactly
Get
right.
off the shed.
Yeah.
Honey! Look, I think you're right. I think it is a little bit of, I was the adult in the room. We've got a lot of youngsters around that offense. Brees Hall in the running back room. You got, you obviously have Garrett Wilson out there at receiver. There isn't a lot of wisdom and experience and veteran leadership on that offensive unit, especially. And he's hearing reports, guess what, from Nathaniel Hackett, who he's tight with from his days in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So when he calls up Hack and he goes, hey, what's going on, man? You know, tough one against the Pats. He goes, yeah, well, and guess what happened in the sideline, Aaron? And guess what happened in the locker room, Aaron? And guess what happened on the plane? And then we're hearing this from this guy and we're hearing that from that guy. And he's probably sitting there stewing on this for a full 48 hours from Sunday to Tuesday when he jumped on the Pat McAfee show. And he goes, geez, like, I wish I was in there and I could lead these guys the way I promised them I could this offseason, this preseason, during the training camp. And he can't because he's laid up. So I get it. At the same token, Ben, Fletch, you made a really good point there. He is pointing fingers and he is making the private stuff public.
And he's not even in the room to like say it to the guys. I think that's the worst part. He's saying this on a Pat McAfee show, which the Aaron Rodgers interviews on the Pat McAfee show have hundreds of thousands of viewers, especially now that he's moved over to ESPN. It's a bad look in my eyes.
Yeah, you know what? I will say this. The Jets knew what they were signing up for. Maybe the players didn't quite know it, but he's going to put his thoughts on blast.
Yeah.
Whatever comes through Aaron Rodgers' head, TD, he says it.
Yeah, no, I agree, Rich. And I don't know if it's a bad look. I think that he's saying what Jets fans would like to hear. To be quite honest, I don't think Jets fans are happy with this at all. I mean, yes, they're obviously sad. Aaron Rodgers is hurt, but they are not happy with the man who is out there as their quarterback. Trevor Siemian, I don't believe is the answer either. They want to sign a veteran guy to come in to try to save the day a little bit. I mean, it's Trevor Siemian. I mean, there's a reason Trevor Siemian is available. But I mean, I don't know. Is it a bad look to call out your team? Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe, but I don't feel anything bad about this. He's at this point, he's kind of just a fan sitting here watching this, going, "Hey, I've got close ties to this team. Stop with the nonsense, man. All it's going to do is make you play worse."
Yeah. And then you start to look around the National Football League and you start to think, geez, is there any way out for the Jets? Like, is there any way they can make this better, improve from Zach Wilson short term? And you start thinking about it. Okay, so who's got a quarterback who the Jets could potentially trade for? Remember, they did open up some cap space when Rodgers restructured his contract. So maybe you could get a 1-year rental, maybe you could get a guy like a Kirk Cousins potentially if the Vikings continue to go down the drain. Maybe you could get Andy Dalton from Carolina when Bryce Young gets back, potentially.
The longer this goes on, the more I think it is the Kirk Cousins plan, because depending on how the Vikings do the next 2 weeks, it'll be really telling. But say they lose again. Like, the Vikings have to be in their head thinking, okay, well, we're going to need to trade and maybe go after Caleb Williams or another quarterback in the draft.
How about this? This is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound crazy, but there were rumors this offseason they could be winless against the Broncos and go 0-4. The Chicago Bears, Justin Fields.
Yeah.
He's already called out his coaching staff. And you know what a dual threat quarterback can be for an offense. Not always, but can be.
With that offense, with New York Jets, it would make a lot of sense.
You know,
Justin Fields is being misused. I think we all agree on that. But the Jet and the Bears are the primary reason he's being misused. So I could see that working. But the more they go on and on without calling Carson Wentz, who's the best free agent quarterback out there, whose numbers looked good a couple years ago when he was playing, the more I'm thinking they're going after someone in trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Fletch, you're the numbers guy here. You break down all these stats. If you were to choose between a Kirk Cousins or a Justin Fields, which one fits better in this Jets offense?
Kirk Cousins, and it's not even close. Now, if I was in the Jets front office, I would have already went and got Carson Wentz. To be damned with whatever his culture he's bringing into the locker room. You just had Aaron Rodgers. That's a pretty big culture risk too. Hence what he just said on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. So I would have already gotten Carson Wentz. I think the play for the Jets, if they want to be a serious contender this year, is pray that the Vikings keep losing and you can get Kirk Cousins.
Well, part of the problem with the Jets at the moment is they better hurry up and make a decision. I mean, they start losing too many and you're not going to be able to dig out of the hole.
Travis, when you sit down in that armchair in your living room, right, and you pop open an ice cold soda, a diet soda, because we're currently dieting.
That's right.
But like you represent to me like millions of other Americans. You are the American dad sitting down to watch some Sunday NFL football. If you're turning on a New York Jets game, like which quarterback pops for you? Is it Carson Wentz or is it Kirk Cousins or is it Justin Fields or should they trade for someone else? I mean, like, to me, that's part of the storyline too, you're in New York. You're in market one.
Right.
You kind of have to remember your audience and do something a little bit splashy.
Yeah, which is funny because when you throw out those names, none of them really stand off the page. You know, I'm like, okay, it's a placeholder until Aaron Rodgers gets back.
Yeah.
But I guess if I was trying to look for some sort of excitement out on the field, you'd go to Justin Fields. Yeah. You'd want to see somebody that'd be able to do something fun, something cool, man.
One more name that hasn't been brought up. A reunion of sorts for the New York Jets. Backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Sam Darnold.
Okay, it's possible, and I'm sure the 49ers would be comfortable trading the way Brock Purdy's going, but remember, that is a brand new elbow in Brock's arm. And you've got a guy who's been in there since training camp.
1 for 1.
So you're saying Zach Wilson comes to the 49ers? Interesting idea.
How is Zach Wilson going to look, though, in the NFC Championship game? I'm just saying.
I mean, you just crushed him. All right, hang on. I'll save this conversation because
you're getting a purple nurple today.
Ben Fletcher.
You better protect those breasticles.
I do not want that.
Ben Fletcher is the biggest Niners honk in the world. You said that. It was as if the record scratched to a halt in his head. He was like, cannot compute, not sure what said. Ow, ow, ow.
Kill.
Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to Woody Johnson. So Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to Woody Johnson.
Yeah, didn't J. Cole release it to the public? That's a weird person to release it to the public.
Very odd as well.
This whole storyline's it was to Joe Douglas, the general manager of the New York Jets. But he said, what I want to do is I want to be your backup quarterback, and I want to compete against your defense, get them ready to face your week 4, 5, and 6 opponents, which is, I think, who is it? They're facing Jalen Hurts in there. They're facing some mobile guys, Patrick Mahomes in there. So he's saying, look, this will benefit you. That's all I want is a 3-week tryout as your practice squad QB. Just give me a chance. And I'm pretty sure Woody Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, replied to one of the posts saying, lame or weak, on Twitter.
Listen,
when is the last time Colin Kaepernick played football?
Correct.
I'm sorry. The storyline is a non-storyline. He's just getting his name back out there.
But also, though,
Rich, one sec. Chiefs, Broncos, so that's a win. Eagles. Those are the next 3.
So he was saying I could replicate Mahomes, Hurts, and Russell Wilson because they're mobile guys.
I could replicate Russell Wilson, by the way.
Oh boy! Now, so shots fired, shots returned.
Yeah,
back to the Broncos guy.
I mean, you're probably right. As long as you can eat a Subway sub. If you can do some dances on TikTok, then you could replicate
Let's
Russell.
ride. Let's ride.
Let's ride. I'm telling you, the marketing team for the Denver Broncos who came up with the Let's Ride slogan are so pissed off that they ever did this ever in their lives. But I forgot even what I was going to say about this as I got caught up in Russell Wilson.
All right, guys. I mentioned earlier that the Padres' expected record for this season, if you take all the numbers, all the statistics, they would be 20 games over 500. Alas, that is not the case. They have a 0.0% chance to make the postseason because, in large part, of their 7.
Are you a Civil War general?
Are you a pirate? Alas, mateys!
Alas, dear mother, we will not prevail.
So the largest reason they're not going to make the postseason is because of their 7-23 record in one-run games following Monday's loss to the Giants. Padres on pace for the second worst record in one-run games since 1900. However, San Diego's overall run differential of plus 90 this season would actually be the second best in team history outside of the 114 positive run differential in 1998. So there's your Padres news. NFL injuries, Dolphins star wide receiver Jalen Waddle still in concussion protocol. He is questionable for this Sunday. Packers hope to have running back Aaron Jones back for a Thursday night football matchup with the Lions. Chargers lose Mike Williams for the season. They are hopeful that they will get Eckler back in the game for the Raiders. And speaking of the Chargers, with Mike Williams gone, rookie wide receiver Quentin Johnson, he is set to have a huge role in this offense moving forward. Check your fantasy lineups now. If he's available, grab him.
Yeah, like that. You know what? Actually, let's start right there. Quentin Johnson, obviously a first-round pick for the Chargers this draft. They haven't really gotten him activated yet this season. You got Mike Williams going down. He's obviously a deep threat from TCU. You saw that on the national championship run from the Horned Frogs. And so you know that they're going to try to force feed him some plays, build up his confidence, obviously get him more touches. However, I'm going to look at Joshua Palmer, who had that touchdown late in that game that helped save the win for the Chargers in Minnesota. They improved their record to 1-2 on the season. Now, you look at that touchdown and you say on paper, like, wow, it was a deep ball. It bounced off the waiting hands of a Minnesota Vikings defensive back, and then he just grabbed it and fell backwards into the end zone. And you're just like,
Merry Christmas.
Whoopsie doodle. I guess I caught it. Hi-diddly-dee. And it just fell into that. It was wild. It was absolutely wild. But yeah, you're right. Quentin Johnston, keep an eye on him. A lot of people scooped him up like in the later rounds of the draft. But Joshua Palmer, he may get some more touches and looks too.
Or it's just going to all go through Keenan Allen, which he is leading the league currently in receptions. He had like over 200 yards in their last game. I mean, Keenan Allen might just be the single-handed target until he gets hurt.
Brandon Staley did come out and say that look for Quentin Johnson to have a bigger opportunity. So he's at least going to be out there.
Yeah, I think when you look at the Chargers receivers, it's Keenan Allen and everyone else. Mike Williams played a role, obviously, because you take the cap off the defense a little bit by sending him on those fly and go routes. And he's had some big catches for the Chargers over the years. But from a fantasy football standpoint, QJ, probably the look here. But JP, Joshua Palmer, look for him too.
And hopefully Eckler is back this week. That would help out a lot of people's fantasy lives. Fantasy has been turned upside down already by this point in the season because of Aaron Rodgers, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce. Like, there's been so many people who have already missed time this season that it's going to be tough. Something I'm really proud of our show about, guys. Rich, Travis, we called it last week that the Cowboys are definitely overrated. They lose to the Arizona Cardinals. Well, this week it doesn't get any easier. They'll be playing the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And offensive coordinator Billy O'Brien in a press conference kind of downplayed the fact that he's not pumping Zeke for information on the Cowboys. BS.
Well, it's not just Zeke. They also recently signed Will Greer as a backup quarterback. And Will Greer is a guy who knows the Dallas Cowboys playbook inside and out. And I promise you, this is what all NFL coaches do. It's not just the New England Patriots. They like to sign guys a few weeks ahead of playing against a team they need a win against. This would be a huge win for the New England Patriots. And it happened to me. I played for the Patriots for 3 seasons. And then guess what? I was signed by the Arizona Cardinals in the offseason. And guess what? Our week 2 opponent was the New England Patriots. I had to sit down with our defensive coordinator and I gave him everything. I gave him every code word. I gave him every code word, every offensive line protection. I gave him every audible at the line of scrimmage so we could go out there to New England, by the way, at Foxborough and get the win. And guess what? We did. We took a Arizona Cardinals team with Kevin Cobb as our quarterback, and we beat the Patriots at home. And it's because, man, they pumped every last bit of info out of me.
You know who you are?
Oh, yeah, I know where I am.
You're in the jungle, baby. Let's do it, man. Let's do a giveaway right now. Let's do Guns N' Roses. They're going to be at Snapdragon Stadium this Sunday, October 1st. Allison Chains special guest. God, I'm a big Allison Chains fan.
I am too.
I'm a big Allison Chains fan. I love me some Guns N' Roses as well. But if you're looking for tickets or info, you can check out Ticketmaster.com. But if you want to win them, be caller number 7. Caller number 7 right now, 844-570-1360, as the phone lines light up for some GNR.
Yeah, man.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, I love this a lot. Okay, so lucky caller's going to win those Guns N' Roses tickets. We still have tickets to the sold-out Thursday show, Coldplay at Snapdragon Stadium. That's coming up later in the show. Also, a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza. So be listening for those. That's coming up this hour next. Want to finish this up with the Raiders. This is a little bit of a sad story, but edge rusher Chandler Jones has been hospitalized, according to him, against his will. The Las Vegas Fire Department, I guess, was dispatched. He was taken to a hospital and then a behavioral health center. If you've been following this story at all, it sounds like there's something going wrong with Chandler Jones in his personal life. He's been feuding with the Raiders. It's been a one-sided feud over social media. He's claiming that he's been locked out of the facility. He's throwing barbs at head coach Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, their general manager. And saying some nasty stuff. But it feels to me a little bit, TD, like a cry for help.
Yeah, I mean, it feels that way to me as well. I don't know what to believe in all of this, but I feel like you're right. And it's very sad. I mean, this is hard to watch, hard to see.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where you go with this unless you just wait it out here until more information comes out, what side of the story is actually true, and if you can somehow sort through the pieces and try to figure out what the real story is. I mean, I would guess that at least some of the things he's saying is probably true, which is not good. But on the other hand, it does look like the NFL or the Raiders are trying to help him in some manner.
Yeah. Hopefully somebody from his personal life also can step in and maybe help calm the situation down. You do not want to see this thing turn ugly from here. Okay, coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by Ted Wynn. Actually, I might be jumping ahead. No, we're going to be playing What's in the Box coming up next for Coldplay tickets or Prince Street Pizza gift card. We haven't made that decision yet. So you're going to have to stay tuned to find out what you're playing for. So we'll get to the calls in a second on that. But yeah, I want to talk to you about Thursday Night Football. Little game happening in the NFC North between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Why is this important to anybody in San Diego? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you have the Underdog Fantasy app, you're going to be glued to the television like I am every single primetime game. Now, you could do this with any game, but I love the Pick'em game on Underdog Fantasy. If you don't have the app, download it now. If you don't like downloading apps, go to UnderdogFantasy.com. And when you sign up, use promo code XTRA. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's up to $100. So you put in 20, it turns into 40. You get to play $40. If you deposit 40, it turns into 80. You deposit 80, turns into 160. You deposit $100, you get to play with $200. And they have this pick'em game, like I was saying, where you select between 2 and 5 players, whether they're going to go higher or lower on their posted stats. You can win up to 20 times your money. It's completely legal in California. You got to try it today. So download Underdog Fantasy today. The best way to follow your NFL season. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Okay, coming up next, what's in the box for either Coldplay tickets, playing Snapdragon Thursday night, or $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza? You'll find out, but we need callers right now. 844-570-1360, the number to call, 844-570-1360. We play What's in the Box, coming up next.
What's in the box? Travis's edition coming up next. This update is presented by the Jim Patrol Real Estate Team. We will begin here with the Padres, who are still alive. Well, kind of. They did win last night 4-0 over the Giants. The teams they needed to lose also lost. Thin hope is still alive for the Padres. In the world of golf, the 2023 Ryder Cup gets going tomorrow from Macro Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy. In college football, Aztecs will be heading to Colorado Springs to take on the Air Force this Saturday. We got live pregame coverage from AleSmith Brewing beginning at 3 o'clock on Saturday. The game kicks off at 5 on San Diego Sports 760 and the free iHeart Radio app. If you're looking for a spot to watch the game, head on down to AleSmith. It'll be a great atmosphere there. Tune in to San Diego Sports 760 tonight to hear the full Brady Hoke Coaches Show at 6 o'clock, also available on the free iHeart Radio app. Some injury news in the NFL. Giants running back Saquon Barkley considered day-to-day with his ankle injury. Packers optimistic they'll get running back Aaron Jones back by Thursday night. And the Chargers optimistic they will get Austin Eckler back by this weekend's matchup with the Raiders. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Buttrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Spig, Rich, Cheaty, and Fletch at San Diego Sports 760. And if you are listening on the free iHeartRadio app, make sure you hit us up on the talkback mic, the What's Up mic, lower right-hand side. You see a little microphone there. Tap that little microphone. Send us a shout-out. Send us a topic request. Make fun of us, whatever you like. We're going to put together some things here. We're going to have some fun with you guys coming up in the very near future. We do a little game here.
You like that? The What's Up line?
I just threw it out there.
I like it.
You know, What's Up line?
Let's keep it.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up? Hit up the What's Up line. Every single Wednesday, I guess now we do this little game here that we don't have an intro for, and every week I go, I should probably try to make one. But a little game show we call What's in the Box?
Yeah, it is the game show that's sweeping all of the building. They love us in accounts receivable.
And the Philippines.
And the Philippines, apparently. On TikTok, we have a huge contingent of Filipino fans. And we thank you, everyone from Kathmandu who has watched our Taylor Swift video. Okay. So what's in the box is a really simple game. This is the way we do it. We have something put in the box by one of us three. Today it's Travis.
Yes.
You put something in the box?
I did, yes.
Okay, you didn't forget. I'm not looking.
There's definitely something in the box.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, so Travis put something in the box. Me and Ben and a listener contestant, we're going to ask 20 questions. And at the conclusion of those 20 questions, we're going to take our best guess at what's in the box. Now, Aaron is our listener contestant today. He's going to be helping us with the 20 questions. And Aaron, you could use either me or Ben as a lifeline to help you guess what's in the box, but only 20 questions. I kept trying to say seconds. Only 20 questions. Aaron, are you ready to play?
Yes.
Are we saying what he's playing for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's playing for a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza. This is celebrating San Diego's Restaurant Week, which is going on all week long through October 1st, so Saturday. Over 100 of San Diego's finest dining establishments, diverse range of cuisines from farm to table to international flavors, multi-course menu starting at $20. Visit San Diego RestaurantWeek.com for more information. But Aaron, you're playing for that $30 gift card. Do you like pizza?
Yeah, man. Pizza's good.
Right on.
I
right
love
on.
pizza myself.
Pizza's real good.
All right.
Okay. Do you want me to take notes here on what's been asked? Okay.
Actually, yeah. You keep the notes.
Okay.
Ben will keep notes. Maybe we'll all keep notes. But Travis, is what's in the box something that you can eat?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, right off the get-go.
That feels really good. Okay. Okay, so you can eat it, Ben.
Is this object you can eat able to fit in my hand?
Yeah.
Without overflowing?
It would overflow.
Ben's hand, yet
Slightly
overflowing.
bigger.
Yeah.
Yet overflow. Okay. Anything off the top of your head, Aaron, that you would like to ask Travis about what's in the box?
Is it sweet?
Ooh, is it sweet?
No.
No. Okay. Is it spicy?
No.
Okay. It's not sweet, not spicy. All right.
Is it something you would eat on a daily basis?
You could.
Okay. Okay. Is it something you can eat on a daily basis, but is it something medicinal?
No. No, not typically.
Okay.
Is it something we've eaten in studio before?
No.
Not typically medicinal. Never ate it in studio. This is tough, guys. Aaron, do you have any other questions? Because I'm starting to get a little stumped here, bub.
Is it something you can eat with your hands?
Yes.
Okay, you can eat with hands.
This is a good one. Is this diet compliant?
Yes. Well, depends on the diet.
Our diet.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have the handbook.
Oh my God.
Possibly.
Okay. So we're on a very strict diet, Aaron. You don't know the parameters of that, but we do. So that could have been very helpful to you. But unfortunately, Travis doesn't know the answer. So we're gonna save. That
you get 21 questions. All right.
Get 21. Aaron, do you got any other questions?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Okay. How about this? Is it something that you would microwave?
No.
Would not microwave. Okay.
Is it something that is in our vending machine?
No.
Not in iHeart vending machine, which again would be helpful to you, Aaron, because it would help us guess what's in the box. We'll take a picture.
There's not a lot in there right now, so there'd be like 4 things.
Yeah, they haven't restocked it all week long, and we're very upset. All right, let me ask this question. Is it something that you would find in the produce section?
No.
Wow. Okay. So it's going to be in that middle part of the groceries. Actually, let me ask that question. Is it something you would purchase at the grocery store?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're at 11.
Are we really? Already? Oh, God.
I honestly thought this was going to be a slam dunk from the first question.
So did I.
Yeah.
Now, Travis, you said it's edible.
Yes.
Is it drinkable?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
No.
not drinkable. Let me ask this question. This is going to sound a little bit weird.
Okay.
Would you consider it food? Like, would you eat it for a meal or with a meal?
You would eat it for a meal.
You would eat it for a meal.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus. Okay. It is food. It is food.
Aaron, help us.
Aaron, do you have any other questions? We're running out of questions, Aaron.
Is it something wrapped in plastic?
Yes, it is, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So
It's currently wrapped in
Not
plastic.
sweet, not spicy.
Aaron, here's what we have so far. It's edible. It can fit in Ben's hand, yet it will overflow. It's not sweet. It's not spicy. You can eat it daily. It's typically not used medicinally. We've never eaten it in studio. You would not microwave it. It's not in the iHeart vending machine. It's not in the produce section, but it is in the grocery store. It's definitely a food. You could eat it as a meal, and it's wrapped currently in plastic.
I'm looking at the text line right now.
I got
Hang
a
on
question.
here. Sports. No. Text line has not gotten it either.
Okay.
Is it something that was on our desert island food draft yesterday?
No.
Damn it.
No, not necessarily. Not
Okay.
necessarily. Now, could it be part of the desert island food picks? Yes.
Okay.
Like it could be.
I got an
one or
idea.
two of the picks may have encompassed
I
this.
think I know what it is.
Is it typically eaten at breakfast time?
No.
Is it typically eaten at lunchtime?
I would say typically not.
Okay.
Could be. Could be.
Aaron?
Is it a snack?
No.
Wow.
No.
Geez.
I think we're really that's 18, I think.
Lunch.
I'm trying to think of a hint I could give at this point.
Well, it's not lunch, it's not breakfast, it's not a snack. That means it's dinner.
It's dinner time. It's dinner time
It's
food.
dinner. It's dinner time food.
Dinner time food.
Look, how many questions do you have left? Two.
Is it? Oh, damn it! No, that can't be it. I was just gonna like blurt out a guess. I think it's because I just saw a Lunchable in my refrigerator.
We also have 1 minute to figure this out.
It's not a Lunchable, nor would it be found in a Lunchable. Damn it!
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's currently wrapped in plastic, but it's not always wrapped in plastic.
Some people have eaten this and had a traumatic experience, where most people love it.
Some people eat it. They have traumatic.
Who would eat this?
Okay. Wait a second. And it's not. You said it's not spicy.
Not at all spicy.
Wow. This is really
I'm
difficult.
stumped.
I'm really stumped.
I'll give you a freebie. It has an odor.
Okay, Aaron, do you have a single another guess that you can apply here?
I know what it is.
What?
You know what it is?
I know what it is.
Hang on, whisper it in my talk back so I can hear what your guess is. And let me see. No, but it's not spicy.
Oh, damn it.
That's what I just.
No,
it's not that. It's definitely not that. Okay, so Ben.
It's not found in the snack aisle.
Ben was guessing a Pocky chip, the one chip challenge. It's not the Pocky chip.
Traumatic experience.
Traumatic experience, though. Aaron, have you ever had a traumatic experience with a food you'd like to share with us?
I would say
nothing I'd like to share with you guys.
Okay, right. All right.
Aaron,
you have all of your arms and legs, right?
We do need.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Was that a hint?
It was.
Oh my God.
What was that story?
Oh my God.
Ew, you have that?
Oh,
I know what it is now.
What is it? Hang on, whisper in my ear again. Oh my God. What? Okay.
That's disgusting, Travis.
Hang tight.
Why would you have that
What
in
do you
there?
mean? Why is it disgusting?
Aaron, I think we figured this out. Aaron, do you want to guess on your own? Because I'm pretty sure we used 20 questions. All right. So do you want to use Ben or myself as the lifeline? Your choice, and then we'll try to help you out here.
Let's go with Ben.
Okay, Ben, if you will. Now, this is for a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza. Ben, your lifeline guest to Aaron.
Travis, you nasty ass. You brought tilapia in studio.
It's a fish. It's a fish. Yeah. I got it. Oh, it's upside down. I didn't realize. There's your fish. Congratulations, Aaron. You won yourself a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza to celebrate San Diego Restaurant Week. It's going on now through October 1st with over 100 of San Diego Diego's finest dining establishments, a diverse range of cuisines from farm to table, international flavors, multi-course menus starting at $20. Visit San Diego Restaurant for more details. But Aaron, you're going, man.
Dude, this is incredible. So, Aaron, how excited are you after winning this very dumb game?
He's on hold.
Oh, okay.
He's on hold. Apparently we're late.
Talk to you never, Aaron.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a lot of fun. I can't believe there's a frozen fish in the studio.
Gross.
It is a little gross for whatever reason.
It's fine. That's fine. I don't even know what we're getting to next. I was
Okay,
so I know what we're getting to.
Look, we have to do this once daily. It's in our contracts now. There were clues all along the way to what we saw this Sunday. It was hiding right in front of all of our faces. We'll break it all down next. I've heard of a bromance, and so have all of you. But have you ever heard of a promance? We'll break down what exactly that is next.
Wow. Bigger CD and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Rich had to go take the fish back to the freezer. There is definitely a fish odor in here. It definitely smells of fish in studio currently, which I feel like people coming in after us may be slightly upset.
I mean, I would be.
Would you though, or would you be like, those morning guys, hilarious?
It's not that bad. It just was starting. We accidentally ripped open the package of frozen whole fish tilapia. And so Travis quickly grabbed me the bag and I wrapped up the fish in the bag. It came in. I put it in the freezer here at work, which I will promptly forget it's in there and I'll never bring it home. But I said I would. And the reason why is because my oldest son, who's 8, Ty, he will eat that. He's not deterred by like animals with faces on them still. He's very like connected to the food chain. He's just like, yeah, man, like, sorry, that crab's got to go. I love crab legs.
Watch a YouTube video because there's some pretty cool smoker things you can do with tilapia, especially whole tilapia.
I just think
you're a genius.
Now I think it'd be funny if just once a week we put some different item in the freezer here at work.
Just see how people react.
Yeah, just see how people react. Like
next week, piranha.
Yeah, or just octopus.
Yeah.
Just have it dripping into the ice tray.
Or there's like a whole king crab like wedged sideways in there.
Yeah,
Lots
we'd
of
upset
seafood.
a lot of people. You know what also will upset a lot of people around here?
Lies.
A promance. This is something that I was not familiar with, but Ben kind of called. So Fletch last night on Twitter, on X, said, and this is a tweet, and I quote, "This Taylor Swift thing is becoming way too successful for the NFL and Kelsey. I'm officially suspicious." Hashtag trailer. Ben, you may be onto something. You may be onto something because Sun Magazine, it's a tabloid that started in the UK, but they have a US version over here in the States, has listed now Taylor Swift's promances. Now, a promance, not a bromance, but a promance are professional relationships. Like when you see a power coupling and you say, oh, that seems a little too convenient.
Brangelina.
Yeah, Bradgelina. Now, they got married. They ended up having some kids together or adopted some kids together. So little bit different there. But Taylor Swift has been through the ringer in terms of like dating people for short terms who are also insanely famous and also famous in, the same thing she does, but also in the acting world. All right. So this thing lists a lot of them. I don't know all these names, but
yeah.
Matt Healy.
He's from a group called the 1975.
John Mayer.
John Mayer, they state was a promance to start and then turned into a romance. And that's why she hates him so much still. Calvin Harris, they say, was real.
How about this, though? Tom Hiddleston was a promance.
I don't even know who that is.
I think it's the guy that plays Loki in the in the Marvel universe.
So he's the British actor, and I do think that he's Loki from Marvel.
He's the brother of Thor.
Yeah, from the Marvel movies.
Wow, he doesn't look the same at all. He's 42, by the way.
Yeah.
So when this romance would have occurred, she would have been about 25, I guess. Pretty young.
All I'm saying is this is all way too convenient.
Harry Styles.
Think about how many millions people are cashing on this Travis Kelce.
I didn't realize you got with Harry Styles too.
They and then this article does list reasons why. However, the reasons are a little bit vague.
I didn't think Harry Styles would be into Taylor Swift.
Okay, so the reason why is because now she's dating Travis Kelce, and everybody goes promance. There's no way these two are infatuated with each other. This is just all for the cameras. You know what? I love love. I love love.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is nauseating.
No, I'm the type of person who I'll take it at face value. I may be fooled, but what happens if they have like cute little Kelsey Swift, mutants running around, at some point?
Yeah, old Uncle Roger Goodell will just be sitting back there going 1 million, 2 million,
Yeah, but
3 million,
hold on,
4
hold
million,
on. This
5
started-
million. I'm not done. 6 million, 7 million, 8 million.
You're gonna have to get to the hundreds.
Yes,
man.
it'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Forever.
Which one of them has an Uncle Roger?
Goodell.
Oh, got it.
Listen, this started with a goofball Travis Kelce, who I believe, was attracted to Taylor Swift and then thought it'd be funny for probably social media. And he was probably thinking, I'm going to get shot down here. And he knew what the outcome was going to be. So he started throwing out there, hey, I want to date Taylor Swift. I made her a friendship bracelet with a phone number on it.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. Dude, this is, I love the idea of this guy who's like a Hall of Fame tight end, who's a superstar in his field, kind of sheepishly threw out a friendship bracelet. And he found his way into the heart and captivated the hearts and minds of
And
millions.
they are going to shove it down America's throat until the cows move.
Well, I mean, look, this happened with Brad Jelena. This is that relationship.
It's love, Ben.
I truly believe that even though Taylor Swift has had a rocky tour of ex-boyfriends, this is it.
Okay.
This is the one.
This is the conclusion of our Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce coverage for the day. No, for the day. We'll get back to it tomorrow. We'll pick
Something else will happen this afternoon, Ben. We'll have to talk about it.
We must update
You guys hear
everyone.
the song that's playing right now?
Coldplay.
Not Taylor Swift.
Coldplay. Taylor Swift loves Coldplay.
And pretty soon, I hear she's going to be dating Chris Martin.
This might be their wedding song.
Be a bromance. Okay. Coming up next, we have Ted Wynn, The Athletic. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you have to. Incredible football mind. But yes, we will have Coldplay tickets for their Thursday night sold-out show at Snapdragon Stadium. This is the only place to get them. Be listening for your opportunity. Coming up next, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
This update is presented by the Jim Patrol Real Estate Team. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Hour number 3. Coldplay tickets still coming up, so keep listening. Padres still alive. Well, kind of. They win last night 4-0 over the Giants. They're 4.5 back, 4 games left. There is some miracle scenario where they would get in, but a lot of things would have to go right. In the world of golf, the 2023 Ryder Cup gets going tomorrow from Macro Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy. In college football, Aztecs heading to Colorado Springs to take on the Air Force this Saturday. We got live pregame coverage from AleSmith Brewing beginning at 3 o'clock on Saturday. AleSmith, an awesome spot. Make sure you're going out there to hang out with us. John Schaefer, Rich Orenberger, John Schaefer, J.R. Tolver, Jim Russell, myself, we will all be out at AleSmith Brewing on Saturday. If you're looking for a full preview of the game, tune in tonight to San Diego Sports 760 on the free iHeartRadio app to hear the Brady Hoke Coaches Show. And we got some injury news in the NFL. Giants running back Saquon Barkley considered day-to-day with his ankle injury. Packers optimistic they're going to get Aaron Jones back by Thursday night. Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams will officially miss the rest of the year with his ACL. However, the Chargers are optimistic that they will get Austin Eckler back this week. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. And so far today, we've learned what a promance was. We've had a live or frozen, formerly live fishing studio. We've discussed NFL headlines. We're looking forward to Ted Wynn from The Athletic to break down NFL offenses.
We need Tyreek Hill to hurry up and retire.
Because he's going to do porn, and the Padres are still alive. Welcome to the show. That's what you missed. We're going to get to some of that coming up here shortly.
We still have Coldplay tickets to give away.
Coldplay tickets, their Thursday sold-out show at Snapdragon Stadium. This is huge. So if you're listening now, in 7 minutes, we're going to be giving those tickets away.
Woo! Meanwhile, we found that, Fletch, you only know 1 or 2 Ozzy Osbourne songs.
Iron Man, Crazy Train.
There's no way.
That's all you need.
Just type in Ozzy in that thing.
Dude, start playing Ozzy songs. Just keep them rolling. You'll be like,
there's no possible way.
Generals gather in their masses.
Wow, you guys Is he the one with the tongue? The long tongue?
No, that's Gene Simmons from Kiss. What the hell? Are you screwing with us right now?
I think he is.
What's going on?
I hate this so much. I hate that I like you.
Is Ozzy the one that has that song, More Than a Feeling?
No, dude.
That's Journey, dude.
That's Boston, you idiot.
Okay, they are. By the way, they are the same band. I'm convinced of it.
Right.
Everybody confuses Boston and Journey.
Boston, Chicago, Journey. They're all the same.
They are literally the same band. They're literally.
I went to a Chicago concert long ago at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was the first concert I ever went to where no one stood up. Everyone just sat down and ate cheese and drank wine. And
you just got to let those horns blast over you, man.
I mean, it was cool, but I was like 16 and I was baffled as what was happening.
My extent of Ozzy knowledge goes from Crazy Train to Iron Man to eating a bat.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
you covered a lot.
Yeah, it's just they're kind of out of order.
Yeah. I will say this about Ozzy Osbourne. The reason why I know so many of his songs is my strength coach in high school. He was an enormous Ozzy Osbourne fan. And so the weight room from freshman year all the way to senior year, as we trained for an upcoming football season, all of a sudden you would hear like the opening riffs from Crazy Train. And by the way, this dude was, I guess, in his late 30s then. He was absolutely yoked. Like, he would get on a squat rack, he'd pick up 500 pounds, and it would just be bouncing on his shoulders. And he would stand on one leg and use his one foot to scratch his calf with the other one. It was unbelievable. Steve Anderson, Coach Steve Anderson, he was an absolute animal. Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train would come on the radio and be like, Ozzy!
Golly,
and then everybody was like, we were forced to jam out of fear, guys. Anyways, We have Coldplay tickets to give away.
it's a long way to get back to Coldplay, but we did it.
I have heard their concerts are something else. Like lots of light shows.
You said your brother went.
Yeah, my brother went to the one actually up at Levi Stadium in the Bay Area, and he said hands down coolest concert he's ever been to.
Okay.
Which is why they're sold out Wednesday and Thursday night. Which is why your last chance to win tickets is happening within the next few minutes.
Okay, so be listening for that. Also, a new feature for Wednesdays right here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We're going to call it Big Rich, TD, and Fletch's Biggest. We'll review the week that was in the NFL. We'll look forward to the week that is coming up in the NFL. And so we continue on with this question. What do you think was the biggest loss in week 3? Which team really stumbled in week 3?
Feels like the Vikings nail kind of got put in their coffin. I don't know what they're going to be planning on doing. It feels like if you had to predict the sellers traders coming up in the NFL like we do in baseball, the Vikings are probably going to end up being sellers. Now, what can they get for Kirk Cousins? I personally think quite a bit. Now, you're talking about one of the 15 best quarterbacks in the NFL. There are teams out there who need that. So whether it's the Jets or whether it's somebody else, the Vikings had the biggest loss, but it may be a positive for them in the long run.
I hate to do this to our very own Travis Dale, who is a Broncos fan, but literally and figuratively, the biggest loss was the 70-20 thrashing that the Miami Dolphins put on the Denver Broncos. So literally,
God, it felt like another Broncos Super Bowl.
It's the third highest amount of points scored. It's more points, or I should say more total yards than any team has put on another team since 1951. It was an absolute backdoor. I can't even finish that sentence. But the point is, the Broncos are in rough shape. Sean Payton called out the former coaching staff saying it was a mess. Everything that they did last year with Nathaniel Hackett, I'm doing the opposite. And they're 0-3, and they just lost in historic fashion. I think the Broncos took the worst loss, the biggest loss.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I also see the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals. I mean, the Cowboys were at the top of the power rankings. They look like a team that no one's going to be able to stop them because this defense is way too good. And they came in probably with some overconfidence, but they were found out a little bit by the lowly Cardinals. I mean, that's a bad loss. Look, I know they're 2-1. It's not like their season's over, but I think that that you definitely saw some things that you probably don't like if you're a Cowboys fan.
Right on.
Okay, we have a great next question. It's what's the biggest matchup of week 4, which is upcoming, starting tomorrow night. Now, there's some really good games this week. There really are. Thursday Night Football, I think, is going to be a fantastic game between the Packers and the Lions.
Yeah.
We get Bills-Dolphins this week. We get Chiefs-Jets, which would have been a lot better had Aaron Rodgers stayed healthy. We also get Bears-Broncos.
Yeah,
That's my biggest matchup of the week.
Well, are they going to flex that?
You hope so. Dude, if that was primetime, I would be all in. I would be all in on a Bears-Broncos primetime football game.
Oh, God. Wow, that sounds terrible. You know, look, the Broncos should win this one. I think the Bears.
But will they?
I don't know. I don't know, which is very sad. The Bears are a dumpster fire. I mean, and it's just
the Broncos aren't.
I was going to say they're battling on who's got the biggest blaze out there. The Broncos obviously have some problems. I do feel like the Broncos at times have shown that they can do something. The Bears, to me, they just look like they stumble over each other constantly. To me, not the biggest game of the week. Dolphins and Bills, man.
Yeah,
that's the go-to.
That's consensus here because I was going to say Dolphins, Bills also. The 3-0 Dolphins, they're going to be tested real good here on the road in Buffalo. This is their second divisional opponent after beating the Patriots in Foxborough. So it has happened before this season against a tough defense. The Bills now have the Patriots blueprint and inarguably a better offense than the Patriots. So we'll see what they do defensively to slow down Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, who may be back, Devon Achane, who had a breakout game, and Tua Tagovailoa, and that Mike McDaniel offense. Okay, moving on to the biggest mismatch of week 4. Travis, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm gonna go Niners Cardinals. Look, this Niners defense should swallow up the Cardinals. And then if you're comparing Niners and Cowboys, I think you're going to be able to compare a little apples to apples here right off the get-go, back to back. And then week 5, here we go. But, I mean, the Niners should destroy the Cardinals.
Travis, you are 100% right. They should. I don't feel good about it.
Oh, no.
Because the Niners have never played the Cardinals well in the history of this matchup. Now, over the last few years, it's been different since Kyle Shanahan got there. But for years, the Niners would have really good teams. The Arizona Cardinals would suck, and the Arizona Cardinals would sneak away at least one of the two in-division games. Divisional matchups are tough in the NFL. We see it every single week. I'm going to actually go with the Chiefs and Jets because the Chiefs seemed to click something and figure something out last week, and I think they are just going to roll the New York Jets.
All right, my pick is Eagles Commanders. The Commanders just got absolutely dominated at home by the Buffalo Bills. Now they have to go to Philadelphia. So after being humiliated, Sam Howell threw 3 picks. And also, he got slammed down pretty hard in that game. He looked like he was somewhat concussed. Maybe that led to the second half interceptions. But now he's going against this Philadelphia defense who appears to have gotten themselves right against Tampa Bay and an Eagles offense and a 3-0 Eagles team. So this is a team that should be experiencing the Super Bowl loss hangover, and they've restocked, reloaded, and I think they're ready to dominate in this mismatch out of the NFC. Yeah, we're doing it right now. You hear that Coldplay playing, and you know exactly what to do. 844-570-1360.
Yeah, they're going to be at Snapdragon Stadium Thursday. Tomorrow? Today's Wednesday?
It's already Wednesday.
Tomorrow, Snapdragon Stadium. You can try to go to Ticketmaster.com if you want to look for tickets, but did you give a caller number?
844-570-1360. Caller number 7. Lucky number 7.
Boom. There it is. You're going to go to Coldplay. That's the last one. That's the last pair we got.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Got them while they were hot.
There it is. Phone lines are lit up.
Yeah, so we covered a bunch of these NFL injuries, but I'll cover them again. Jalen Waddle due back for the Miami Dolphins. That's huge for Miami heading into that matchup we were just talking about against the Bills. Green Bay Packers running back Aaron Jones on track, possibly will return for the Thursday Night Football game against the Detroit Lions. Mike Williams out for the season with an ACL, looking for running back Austin Eckler in Los Angeles with the Chargers to return to the field. And this makes room for Quentin Johnston and Joshua Palmer to start having larger roles out of that receiving core for the Chargers. Tyreek Hill has already mastered the NFL. Now he wants to enter the adult film business. He was interviewed by Mike Evans, wide receiver for the Buccaneers, and he said when he retires, he's turning to porn. Usher, the halftime act for the NFL Super Bowl, has requested to have pole dancers for his performance and the Padres after a 4-0 win against the Giants in the Bay Area. They have officially eliminated those San Francisco Giants, but they are currently still in playoff contention with 4 games left. They're 4.5 games back in the wild card. They have a 0% chance of making the playoffs per Fangraphs. They're just waiting for the inevitable now. But Seth Lugo, 8 2/3 innings of brilliant baseball. Juan Soto, 2 homers, his 34th and 35th on the season, the most in his career. And he's now, before the age of 25, had the 3rd most multiple homer games in a Major League Baseball career. He has 17. So this guy, when he gets hot, he knocks him out of the yard in bunches. And he's still young. He still has blazing potential for a bright future in this league. The question is he going to be with the Padres next season or not?
You want to put odds on that?
Okay, yeah. If I were going to put odds on it, I would say look,
It's pretty damn close to 50-50 for me.
No, I would say plus 300. I would say like 3-1 odds that he gets traded.
That he gets traded.
Yeah.
So you're saying
I'm saying longer shot. I'm saying
a longer shot.
Most
likely,
yeah.
Not even money.
Most likely he's going to be with the Padres next year.
Likely.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree with that. If I'm giving percentage, there's a 65% chance.
Here's what I'll say. If AJ Preller is the GM of the Padres next year, Juan Soto stays. If AJ Preller is not the GM, Juan Soto's gone.
Well, here's my
I don't agree with that either.
Here's my thought process. Okay, so whether or not AJ Preller's here, you get a cheap year compared to what he's going to command on the open market of Juan Soto, who's
it's arbitration, so it's still going to be around 38 to 40 mil.
But it ain't 50 mil,
yeah,
which is what he's about to get paid. I can promise you that. It's going to be 50 mil a year because he's not even 25 yet. Or he's not even 25. I mean, it's insane how talented this guy is, and he's on track to be a Hall of Famer one day, maybe. When you get a hitter that cheap, if you're a new general manager and you're thinking, all right, like, let me take a look at this lineup, and you go, geez, I mean, we have Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., we have Bogarts, and we have Soto. You know, if you were thinking like which one of those four has to go, you might want to just go ahead and rethink it, because I don't really know if it's necessary to blow it up. I do fear, however, what you're talking about may happen anyways. Like, one of those guys could be traded, and it may not be the one that you're thinking. Like, you know, it could happen. And so I don't know what happens.
Soto would be the path of least resistance for a trade.
Well, for the fan base.
For the fan base and for logistically. The rest of the guys all have no trade clauses.
Yeah, you think that's the path of least resistance for the fan base?
Well, just the Padre fans really haven't latched on to Juan Soto, which I'm not sure I understand completely. Now, they may be thinking, well, their stats, yeah, and he's put up a lot of stats, but it hasn't been in big moments. Maybe that's part of it.
Well, I disagree with that too, because during the postseason, he had big moments. Big moments.
But think about the fan base as he was coming over. I mean, the fan base was
beyond ecstatic.
Right.
That's cooled off dramatically.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But
you know, Fletch, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not even petitioning against it happening. I do feel like something needs to change. I just think really what needs to change is have everybody stop walking around on eggshells and pins and needles. You know, Bob Melvin, we don't have the sound, but I'll see if I could find it. And if we get it before the end of the day, I'll play for you. But I heard a clip on Darren Smith yesterday. He appeared on either MLB TV on the network, or
he was on Sirius.
On Sirius, yeah, MLB Sirius. And he was kind of, you know, frank about the fact that he and AJ Preller don't always see eye to eye. There's a mutual respect. They're both long-term baseball men, and they have differing opinions sometimes. But, you know, it was brought up and it was discussed, and he was honest about it. I think as honest as he could be. And Bob Melvin, by the way, every time I hear him speak, doesn't sound like a manager who's ready to walk away from a position like this. If Bob Melvin, quote unquote, leaves this organization, you know what happened. It means he got shoved out the door, and he's helping out the Padres because they helped out him by getting him traded down to San Diego so he didn't have to live in Oakland with a team that's trying to tank so they can leave Oakland and go to Las Vegas. So they kind of saved them, bringing him down here. So he may do them a favor and, quote unquote, resign from the position of manager, but we know what happens if it does happen.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. But I'm just shocked here sitting with 4 games left and the season that the Padres have had and the feelings we've had with the ups and downs and the feelings of, oh, this is lost several times. And the door is still slightly cracked open. Now, there's a lot of things that have to happen. There's a lot of dominoes that have to fall.
It would be a biblical miracle. That's what would happen.
I mean, it's happened before.
Yeah.
Biblical miracles.
Water into wine, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get it.
I would say crazier things have happened, but I don't know that they have.
I don't know either. Now, look, I don't think it's going to happen. My gut says absolutely not. My heart says not going to happen, but mathematically it still can.
I'm going to tell you right now it's not going to happen, and I'm going to say that with confidence. So many things have to go wrong for so many teams for the Padres to make the postseason. So that ship sailed. We're just waiting for the news. Here's the reality of this whole situation, and the orange that's left to peel this offseason is what's going on with Peter Seidler. Something happened.
Mm-hmm.
There was a medical situation. Obviously, we're not going to pry too deep into his personal life. But you know the old expression, when the cat's away, the mice will play. I'm very concerned about what's next for the Padres organization if he's dealing with something serious. And our hopes and prayers and our thoughts go out to the Seidler family. Hopefully, it's not something serious, but we know that there have been serious things in the past. Moving on to the management level, the front office level, you have your president of baseball operations, who there have been source reports about being a micromanager and a guy who literally hires internal spies.
And you have your CEO who is in charge of the business operations, right? That's Eric Grupner, talking about roster construction.
Yeah.
That's a problem. It seems like
talking about saving money.
Yeah, it seems like there is a little bit of a power struggle going on right now at the top of this Padres organization while Peter Seidler's been away.
And by the way, Bob Melvin feels like he's going to be scapegoated, But this fan base, I mean, this is so transparent because Bob Melvin is not the problem.
Not even close.
Bob Melvin is the solution. If anything, Bob Melvin is an adult in the room. You've hired kids in the past. Andy Green, Jace Tingler, nothing against either of those guys. I'm sure they're going to go on and have managerial careers and a ton of success in Major League Baseball. I'm sure of it. But they were considered the wrong people at the wrong time. There's no way in hell Bob Melvin is the wrong guy, right? Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to play back this sound and you're going to say, hey, Rich was wrong if they bring in the next manager and the Padres go and win a World Series. But guess what?
Great.
I firmly believe that Bob Melvin can do that too. But if he gets fired, it's not because he can't. It's because they need an excuse that things went sideways, and he's going to be the guy who's supposed to be wheelbarrowing all the blame with him on his way out the door. But don't buy it. It's BS. There's bigger organizational issues.
Here's my kind of final thought in the Padres here before we get out. The pressure was a thing early in the season. The offseason pressure that was put on them by Bob or Buster Olney saying they were going to win the World Series. A lot of prognosticators having this Padres team is going 30 games over 500 by the end of the season. Like, I do think that got to them. And Fernando Tatis spoke about talking about those expectations that were placed on him beforehand. There's a reason this team has been playing so much better over the last few weeks. The pressure's been off.
Yeah.
They don't have a chance to get into the postseason anymore. They've been playing free baseball. And if you watch it, they've been playing pretty damn fun baseball.
Right. And I think that you're seeing some of the younger guys being infused with the roster. And as a result, you're seeing more situational hitting and less selfish baseball where guys aren't swinging out of their shoes in, runners on situations. Like, you're actually seeing not small ball, but you're just seeing things develop a little bit better and guys playing for each other a little bit more. Look, I'm confused by what happened this season. Everybody is. There needs to be answers to these questions, like what's next for the Padres, and they'll be upcoming. But yeah, we are slowly lurching to the halt of the season, and it is coming very short order. Okay, back to the NFL. Ted Wynn writes for The Athletic. He's an incredible writer. He does a great job breaking down film. So we're going to ask him some questions about some of the best offenses and defenses around the league in the 2023 season. That's coming up next on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
The biggest storylines in the NFL with Ted Wynn coming up next.
This update is presented by the Jim Betrell Real Estate Team. We will begin here with the San Diego Padres, who are kind of still alive for the playoff hunt. It would take a small miracle for them to actually get in. They put their lives on the line once again tonight in a must-win scenario against the Giants. In the world of golf, the 2023 Ryder Cup gets going tomorrow from Macro Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy. In college football, Aztecs heading to Colorado Springs to take on Air Force this Saturday. We got live pregame coverage from Ale Smith Brewing at 3 o'clock on right here on San Diego Sports 760. And then tonight, tune into the San Diego Sports 760 Brady Hoke Coaches Show as Rich Orenberger and John Schaefer sit down with Coach Hoke for a full hour getting you ready for Air Force. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Betrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, and our iHeartRadio Music Festival at the T-Mobile Arena out in Las Vegas. Just happened last weekend. It was incredible. You can check out all the photos, the videos, and behind-the-scenes backstage content now at iHeartRadio.com/festival. And if you want to relive it, you can stream the whole event on Hulu starting October 10th.
So there are a bunch of voices in the NFL that I love to follow on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. One of the most insanely talented voices in this space, especially on Twitter. You can find him at FB_film analysis. That's his handle. Ted Wynn joining the show, staff writer for The Athletic. And like I said, NFL savant. This guy breaks down film. If you want to know about your favorite team, how they're doing things, he answers the how are they doing it, not just the what happened. It's incredible. Ted, awesome connecting with you. Thanks for jumping on the show this morning.
No problem. Thanks for the intro. That might be the best radio intro I ever gotten, Rich.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Look, so I was a film nerd when I played. I love this stuff. Your Twitter feed is filled with, end zone shots in all 22 of NFL games and action. And so you really help, I think, make it more digestible for fans to see exactly how important all 11 players are on both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. I want to start with the San Francisco 49ers as a result of that intro, right? Because your analysis leads me to believe that the San Francisco 49ers might be unbeatable because of their weapons, but also because of how Kyle Shanahan, he endows these weapons to be in the best possible situation. Brock Purdy looks great, and I do believe it's a franchise quarterback, but I think Kyle Shanahan's brilliant. Explain that brilliance.
Well, I mean, everybody talks about playing positionless football, and that's kind of the new trendy word around the league, but there's only a few teams that could really do it. And the Niners are one of those teams because, one, you need to collect the right types of players, and they have that collection with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, and you also need a play designer that knows how to take advantage of those multiple skills and put guys in positions where they can create mismatches with their multiple talents and the multiple things they can do. And Shanahan definitely does that. I mean, it's just so tough to stop that offense. You have CMC lining up at slot receiver, Deebo lining up at running back. I mean, one of the cool things they did against the Giants was they just kept on running different types of tunnel screens at them over and over again, and they just kept on producing against those blitzes. They had one play where they sent CMC out in motion to receiver on one side, and then they ran a tunnel screen to the right on Deebo. So it's just that type of eye candy and just creating those mismatches with scheme that just makes that offense go.
Ted, another NFC powerhouse, the Dallas Cowboys, or at least they're supposed to be, I guess. They, on week 1, went 3 for 4 in the red zone. Week 2, they went 2 for 6. Week 3, they went 1 for 5. Is this a trend? Should there be concerns?
I think we have to give, I put out a stat on Sunday showing they were the number 1 red zone team in the league last year. And now they are 27th in red zone efficiency. And then the Chargers were actually one of the worst red zone efficiency teams last year. And all of a sudden they're 7th this year. And I think it's a little unfair. I think I was trying to point out the fact that Mike McCarthy is now the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, and he's able to change that red zone offense around. But, looking back on the film, I think missing a bunch of their offensive linemen, key starters among their offensive line, had to do with why they were so bad against the Cardinals. They had multiple penalties in the red zone. So I think we should give them a little bit more time to see if they can get healthy and if this red zone issue is going to continue during the season. But it's definitely a concern. But missing all those offensive linemen is going to hurt you, in the red area.
Ted, this Miami Dolphins offense is one of the most fun things you can watch on television. The way they utilize motion in the backfield pre-snap, the way that the speed works for their team, which everyone on that team runs like a 4.3 40. Can you talk about that offense and what Mike McDaniel has been able to do so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a great blend of talent and scheme and how they take advantage of that speed. I mean, it's almost like a CFL team where they're trying to get guys in motion, running full speed at the line of scrimmage, but they do it horizontally because you can't do it vertically, obviously, in NFL. But last year, they're using a lot of fly motion where they're motioning Tyreek Hill across the formation to get him full speed and having them run like a comeback route, which is so tough to stop when he has free access. But this year, they're doing it from the same side. So they have him start on the left and they have him sprint towards the sideline and they snap the ball before the defense could adjust. And I think the thing that makes them even more dangerous this year than last year is how well they're running the ball. I think they upgraded their offensive line. And now if you're going to try to sit back and play dime personnel and too high, they could carve you up on the ground. I mean, they did it 2 weeks in a row. I think they rushed for 300 yards against the Broncos. So they could dice you up any way they want now.
Ted Wynn joining us, the Athletic staff writer on the NFL. You should follow him on Twitter. We got to do something about this handle because it is so many letters, but FB_film analysis is where you'll find him. And that's exactly what you'll see is football film analysis. One of my favorite clips that you'll put up are on the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni really leaning into what Jalen Hurts has done in his college days and employing it at the NFL level. He still threatens you as a runner. They run the RPO schemes. How has he melded so seamlessly the college playbook for Hurts with the NFL game?
I think he just leans all the way into it. And he also, with the NFL, you need to have answers for everything. If you go against zone, you have to have an answer for that. You go against man, you have to have answers for that. So he's taking these college concepts, but he's kind of putting the NFL twist on it by just giving an adjustment for everything you see. So, if you want to play zone against them, they'll run a stick RPO where they just put a receiver curling up right behind where your linebacker should be if he's coming up on a run. If you're playing man, they have pick RPOs where they're picking your guys, and they have fake picks where they're faking picks and getting open. So it is some answers for everything, and it just makes it so difficult when you have to defend every single player on the field, which is what the option forces you to do.
Hey, Ted, who do you think has bigger problems, the Broncos or the Bears?
Ooh, that's tough. That's a tough one. I think I think I would say the Broncos, just because they have that Russell Wilson contract they're locked in on. He's getting paid so much money, and it seems like Sean Payton is moving towards a quarterback change this year, and I just don't know what to do with that. I mean, I think with the Bears, at least they can have a hard reset. I mean, they're not paying Justin Fields. They didn't give him extension or anything, so they could move on from him if they want. They have high draft picks. They could use to rebuild that team. But for Broncos, they're kind of hamstrung with that Wilson contract.
Ted Wynn joining us this morning, talking some NFL. Ted, a lot of people in this city in San Diego, they hate the Chargers organizationally for moving the franchise, but they can't quit them. And especially after drafting a young quarterback like Justin Herbert to replace Phillip Rivers, it felt like it reignited some passion for certain people in this city. So Justin Herbert is a fan favorite. The fact that the Chargers find unique ways to lose every single game, it feels like that's coming down to the wire. Outside of this Minnesota Vikings game, which, baffled me that fourth quarter within 2 minute sequence from both these teams was just some of the worst situational football I've ever seen. But that's not the question I want to ask. I want to look forward to the future with Justin Herbert. So he's got this cannon for an arm. In fact, you posted this route concept from Kellen Moore where they ran, basically flooded the right side. It was like a little post. I forget who was pushing upfield to draw some safety attention. And then you had the out maybe at 10 yards, maybe at 5 yards underneath the Keenan Allen corner route where, Justin Herbert, there was no room for this throw, but he threw with such accuracy and velocity. He got it there in time. Keenan tiptoes and falls out of bounds. He had over 200 yards receiving. This is going to be a strange question because I know you just talked about some of the good things that are happening with Kellen Moore now. But has Justin Herbert been misused offensively by the Chargers? And could he potentially have more success with a different team? And he's just sort of hamstrung by the situation in LA right now.
Well, it always seems like a different issue. Like, last year was the offensive line. They had so many injuries among the offensive line that Herbert was kind of forced to be a check down guy where he didn't have time to hold on to the ball, let things develop. Had a very low average depth at target. And obviously, he also had to deal with the wide receiver injuries. Mike Williams gone for most of the season last year. Unfortunately, they just announced that he tore his ACL this year as well. So it's just dealing with the constant injuries. And then at least last year, there were times where the defense was had some good games. But it seems like this year, the defense is going to be a pretty big issue for them. And Herbert's going to have to score a bunch of shootout, win a bunch of shootout types of games. But I like what Kellen Moore is doing right now. I like that Herbert's being as aggressive as he's ever been. He has the highest average depth of target he's ever had in his career. And that throw you're talking about, I think, is a good example of how aggressive the aggressive mindset he has this year, making those types of throws. And that's something that we wanted to see from Justin Herbert because we saw flashes of him being able to make these throws in a pass, but we wanted to see more out of him and him doing consistently. And so far this year, I think we're seeing that.
Yeah, defensively, they got some issues. Derwin James had a hammy against the Vikings. He was questionable up until I think today. Maybe he's still on that list. Eckler, obviously offense, but they're hoping to get him back for this upcoming game. Eric Kendricks, linebacker. So there's some issues injury-wise this season. And yeah, I mean, the hope for people who still root for this team is, look, they need to stay healthy so they can do much better as promised. All right, Ted, this was awesome. We need to do it again soon. You're the best. And again, follow him at FB_film analysis on Twitter. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. Talk to you
There
guys
he
later.
goes. Ted Wynn, the Athletic. Incredible stuff. Okay. I drove to work in a Toyota. If you haven't heard me talk about Toyota yet, I own a 4Runner. We are buying another Toyota soon. These cars are unbelievably reliable. I put oil in it. I put gas in it. That's it. It braves the trip to LA weekly during the fall. I got to go up there for my radio shows. It's our trip car. Anytime we're driving outside of San Diego, we're taking the Toyota. It is a rock. This thing just, it's been the best. It's been the best. And I'm not saying that just because I'm sitting here reading an ad for Toyota, but go to the San Diego County Toyota dealers today if you're interested in an SUV that's going to run forever for you, a pickup truck. They got a great line of pickups. I'm looking at that Tundra. And also their electrified vehicles. If you're looking to go green, they have a great selection there, and they're fun to drive. I was just driving around in my mother-in-law's Prius up in LA when I was working the national show this weekend. So if you're looking for a reliable car, if you're looking for a car brand with a huge lineup, go to Toyota.com. And dealing with San Diego County Toyota dealers, they're super friendly. They're knowledgeable. Their staff is all great. I walked in and walked out, bought a car in a single day. It took me 2 hours. Really incredible. Okay, so check out a Toyota today. And coming up next, we wrap up this show and we look forward to some other exciting giveaways this week. That's next. You've heard of bad beats? Well, this could be the best win of the season. That's coming up. Oh my goodness. What a week it's already been. We're heading into Thursday. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to continue giving away gift cards for San Diego Restaurant Week. Head to San Diego Restaurant Week.com for more information on all the restaurants who are going to be participating. Also, Guns N' Roses tickets. Woo! We got those for the next 2 days. That's an upcoming show on October 1st. That's Sunday at Snapdragon Stadium.
Man,
yeah.
This show sounds like it could be Paradise City.
Take me down. Take me on down. Oh, won't you please take me home?
It's quite the Iron Man.
That's
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Text line, by the way, it's like they said you got to listen to Mr. Crowley. That's a great.
I do know that song.
Do you talk to the dead?
That one was on Guitar Hero. I just didn't know it was by Ozzy Osbourne.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
You are so uncultured. What we need to do is we need to do a segment on this show where we culture up Ben.
Yeah, I'm very cultured.
Yeah.
No, well, that's
I know all the Italian things.
You know one Italian thing.
I know all the Italian things.
One Italian thing.
And I don't know if every Italian has confirmed that, by the way.
What are we, like 5 for 5 at this point? Come on.
It's like it's 3 for 3.
Yeah,
but
what is the
I'll
internet?
find some more.
The internet also said
Yeah,
yes.
but there's a lot of misinformation.
Figs, baby, figs. Gotta love the figs.
gotta get you some figs and pigs.
Go to the store, give me some of the fig Newtons.
Travis has never been out of the country, and I'm the uncultured one.
This is probably the best futures bet on the market right now. So a bettor from Las Vegas placed a big bet at BetMGM Sportsbook before the Dolphins' 70-point outburst, thrashing the Denver Broncos in Week 3. So the bettor backed the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl at 13-1 odds with a wager of $100,000.
Good Lord.
So is that a $1.3 million win?
Also, he backed quarterback Tua Tagovailoa to win the MVP at plus 500, and he put $60,000 on that.
It's got $160,000 at stake.
This can pay out $1.6 million if both hit. The bet on the Dolphins alone is worth 1.3 mil. Should they all win, this is one of the craziest, biggest bets, and it's looking really good right now.
Bet.
You said bad bet?
Bad bet.
Because of the Niners.
No, because Tua's going to get hurt. I don't want that to happen. I just think it's going to happen.
Oh, I feel like maybe this is his year.
Yeah, it's looking.
I mean,
to be.
it looks like that.
You know what he did through 3-0 or through 3 games last year? The exact same thing he's done 3 games through this year. His stats are dead identical.
They're identical.
Wow.
Which is strange to say because I don't remember the Dolphins beating a team by 50 last year.
No.
They
I don't
had
remember
5
that.
rushing touchdowns in that game.
And 5 passing touchdowns. They had 10.
But one of those wasn't him.
I mean, it's
Mike
easy.
White had a passing
that's
touchdown.
right. That's right.
Yes, you
That's
did.
right,
Yes,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They put in the backup. Calling the twos. We're done here.
Oh, we're still scoring.
We do thank Ted Wynn from The Athletic going over that film analysis on the NFL. Also, Rich, let's plug the Brady Ho Coaches Show coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. San Diego Sports 760 in the free iHeartRadio app. What's your first question for Coach?
I'm going to ask him what his favorite flavor of ice cream is
He'll
because
like that.
I like the hard-hitting questions. No, obviously we'll review the loss against Boise. How the hell are you going to stop this Air Force option offense that put up over 400 yards on the ground against San Jose State? You'll get the answer to all those questions coming up at 6 o'clock with me, the coach, and John Schaefer.
And then a quick preemptive thank you to everybody who's going to come out to AleSmith this weekend. We'll be there on Saturday for our pregame show of the Aztecs football game against Air Force. Get on out there at 3 o'clock. Awesome beers at AleSmith.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I would go chocolate chip, but it has to be Thrifty's chocolate chip.
I like mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, that's real good.
But nothing beats cookie
real
dough.
good.
Mm.
Yeah, man, make sure you also have the free iHeartRadio app downloaded to all of your devices. That way you can take us with you wherever you go and keep listening all day long here. Colin Coward and the Herd coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow.